Today I want to review lowering springs. Should anybody do this to their car? Is it a good idea? Should you just go coilovers? Should you keep the stock suspension? So I'm going to give you a walk around, show you how I've updated the look. We're going to get it out on the road. We're going to talk about how it drives on town roads, how it drives on country roads, how it drives driving spiritedly. And by the end of this, you should have a good idea of whether you want to put lowering springs on your car or not. I've done Eibach lowering springs. There's 100 different brands that are available on the market, and to be completely honest with you, most of them are much of a muchness. Yes, some will be slightly stiffer or slightly softer, some will be slightly lower or slightly higher, but realistically, lowering springs are lowering springs. You're still using the stock dampers, so the ride quality is going to be roughly similar between most lowering springs. Just look at this thing. It looks absolutely fantastic. You can watch the installation video up here. It took me 3 days, 2.5 days to install these. I did it myself in my garage. It was stressful and long. The fitment, I think, on the front is just about perfect to where I'd want it. However, the rear, I think, is just a little bit lower. You can see how that wheel arch just cuts into the tire. But if your only intention is to get the look, you can definitely get the look with lowering springs. I mean, the car looks absolutely fantastic. So if that's all you want, you can get it. In terms of cost too, it's very inexpensive to do lowering springs. I mean, the springs that I bought were £160. Obviously, you have to reuse your stock dampers, which means if they're in bad condition, you're gonna have a bad day. Fortunately, this is a low mileage car. It's only got 40-something thousand miles on it, so it's very fresh as far as the suspension goes. It does make the car a little harder to get in and out of. You can see just how low to the ground that seat is. It's very low. This does also mean your ground clearance is affected. Going over speed bumps is difficult. Driving dynamics do also change a little bit when you're driving sporty, when you're driving spiritedly. And I'll tell you more about that once we get out on the road. So let's do that. It's really here in town at slower speeds that the lowering springs fall apart a little bit. Like, I'm terrified of this pothole here, because if I went through it, it would be very harsh. I think once the car's moving at a good speed, and I'll show you that later in the video, the springs work really well. But at lower speeds, it's just really harsh. So I do find myself picking my way through the lane, just trying to find the cleanest way to get down the road with the minimum amount of potholes and bumps and things. Now I'm just comparing to the stock springs because that's what I have experience with in this car. And the stock springs would kind of iron out all those bumps and you wouldn't really feel them as much. But I do think, I mean, that's part of the experience of driving a lower car. You just got to be conscious that it's fundamentally not as usable as a car with a higher ride height. No matter how good the damping is, ultimately there is less suspension travel. So like, I'm scared of this, I'll go through it. Ow, yeah, it's not nice. And you worry like, how big does one need to be to where it ruins my tire or breaks suspension? For some reason, when you're going faster, you don't notice them as much. Like sometimes I'll see a pothole and I'll cringe because I have to go through it, and it just doesn't affect the car as much at higher speeds. The comfort you get with the springs isn't really massively changed. I would say it's maybe like 5%, 10% less comfortable. The sharper imperfections in the road just seem to have a harder edge to them. And if the road is undulating quickly, the body of the car just moves a little bit more than it previously did. But it's not massively less comfortable. But on the open road, on roads that are well maintained or not too bad, it's absolutely fine. So I've got a perfect example of why lowering springs are sometimes not the best idea. This is my favorite stretch of road in the Peak District. And it's currently, they've ripped up the tarmac and the entire section is gravel. I didn't know this coming here. And now I've had to do about 6 miles at 15 miles an hour with stones constantly pinging off my lower control arms and everything. It just sounds horrible. If you have a car at a normal ride height, you just fly through here. Lots of people are. I'm just waiting for the moment there's like a big pothole and it's just going to delete me and I'm going to get stuck here. This has been absolutely horrible. Oh my god, look how long it goes on for. No, no. Oh, let it stop, please, let it stop. This is not fun in a low car. Can you hear that? Oh, that's horrible. Sometimes it's the psychology that will mess you up more. Maybe I'm absolutely fine, but everything is telling me this is not good for the car. I don't like it. I wish I was in a fucking Qashqai. Just a little bit about how these lowering springs handle on a spirited drive. Currently in the Peak District, having a wonderful time, filming some videos. The car has much less body roll. That initial turn-in is sharper, nicer, better. What you lose though is that the suspension's a bit less controlled, it's a bit less well damped. And how that shows up is when there are little bumps, it's more likely to upset the balance of the car. Little things like just there, the car gets a little bit more quickly upset than it did with the stock springs. I think the steering response is better. I think the steering feedback is a little bit less, which is strange, but true. See, these types of little bumps in the road and undulations, they just upset the car a little bit more than they previously would. But when you turn in, the response is sharp and lovely. And when you lean on the car, it will still lean, but nowhere near as much as with the stock springs. The big difference with the stock springs is it didn't take much weight transfer to make it lean. So it would almost immediately tip onto its side. Right now I'm going 40 miles an hour, super gently around this corner. Right now there was no lean. With the stock springs, it would be completely leant over pretty much. So it definitely feels different. It is cool though. I'm mentioning a lot of negatives here, but we've got to bring it back to the fact that the car looks absolutely awesome. So is it worth the trade-offs, you know? Can you live with the slightly worse ride, potentially slightly better spirited driving dynamics, and the fear that at any point, if you make the wrong move, you destroy your car? Is that worth it? I don't know. For me at the moment, it is. I'm really enjoying this car. I don't know if this is cope or if this is actually a real thing, but I think it's kind of cool. Having a really low car that I wouldn't trust anyone else to drive because they'll probably ruin it, and knowing that like I'm in control of keeping us on the road, keeping us safe, and keeping us free of damage. It's like going for a spirited drive with the traction control turned off. It's only you preventing destruction. It's only you preventing a bad day. And I think that's kind of cool. My name's Mick. I drive cars. Peace.